1941, a state of war.
What General Vagon had called the Battle of France was over. The Battle of Britain is about to begin.
We shall fight on the beaches, we shall fight on the landing grounds, we shall fight in the fields and in the streets, we shall fight in the hills.
Hey guys and gals, this is Alden for the Mosin Crate. First things first, I cannot discuss anything sales related. That includes how much is an item, where can I buy one, how do I buy one, anything sales related. YouTube will delete the video, but if you go into rumble.com and you search for the Mosin Crate without any spaces between the Mosin or Crate, you'll find my page on there where I have the same video where I can and do answer those questions. So this is a pretty small review video. There's not a whole lot that got imported here, but what is here, there's quite a bit of variety. Getting right into it, we have some Jericho 941 FS pistols. Now these are marked Desert Eagle pistol. All of them are 9mm. Obviously they're not a Desert Eagle at all, but that's how that they were marketed and how they were marked back in probably the early 90s. So these are a compact model of the Jericho. So it's the standard Jericho, or the frame mounted safety one is the Jericho 941F. This is the 941FS. Has a single action, double action, and then the frame mounted safety. 15 round mag, and then the import marking is on the bottom of the trigger guard. Some of these you may notice have a lanyard loop attachment at the bottom. Usually that's when these things were either in military or police service in Israel at some point or another. It's why those were added. They were not on there from the factory. I think all 9 of these, or 8 of these rather, have one of those lanyard ring loops. These are extremely reliable and accurate, at least in my experience. Handguns are all metal other than the polymer grips, and they have polygonal rifling as well. And I'd say these are overall in good surplus condition. Alright, up top we have an Astra Constable. And this one is in rather nice shape. See the import marking there on the front left side of the frame. Safety functions as a decocker. And that pistol is from Spain. And then we have a couple post-war Walther P38. So this is before they started calling them the P1, and they still labeled them the P38. Both of these are from the late 60s to mid 70s. This one has a 1974 dated frame. Both of these are a 9mm single stack magazine. Import marking on these is on the bottom of the slide. It's in an awesome spot where you're just never going to notice it unless you're absolutely looking for it. And then we have 2 Israeli Karins. So both of these are FN high power clones made in Israel. Probably the nicest ones I've had ever come in for review. Just finish wise, usually when they show up they are beat to hell. I'd say this one's probably a very good, and this next one is a solid, excellent condition. It's definitely had some rounds through it, but it's as close as you're going to get to one out of the box, at least surplus wise. And then we have an Italian Tanfoglio TA90. This is actually a TA90 baby. Basically, this is an Italian CZ75 clone. And I absolutely love these. I think the fit and finish on these is better than the Czech CZ75. I know that's blasphemous for some people, but that's why you just don't ever see me reviewing the Czech CZ75s, because I just like the Italian ones better. They're cheaper usually, and they look and feel better. That's really all I can say. And then we have some Spanish, and that one's in 9mm, by the way. We have some Spanish Star 30M pistols. I haven't had these in the past. I think I've only ever had like 1 or 2 of these for review. And I've had access to them for years, but I just never really got into the Star thing. And then just one day recently, I grabbed one. I was like, this is really cool. So I'm hoping you guys like these, because this is something I'm going to be doing review videos in the future on, if these do well. 9mm double stack pistols. Import marking is on the bottom of the frame. Now, you shouldn't dry fire these. Now, I'm going to say that, and then I'm going to dry fire it, because you know me. I'm just going to dry fire it once. The reason you shouldn't is because the firing pins on these things can be easily broken with repeated dry firing. Notice I said repeated. It doesn't mean if you do it once or twice it's going to happen, but it could eventually happen. So that's one of those few guns that you don't want to dry fire a bunch. Those are really cool. I think those are Spanish military, if I remember right. These are all West German, all in 380. This is another handgun. I just don't get a lot of these in for review. Every once in a while I'll have one, maybe 1 or 2 a year, but to have this many of them at once is pretty cool. Import marking on these is going to be on the bottom of the trigger guard. And they have a little more wear on them as you go down. So the top 2 are the nicest ones. The next 2 have a little bit more cosmetic wear. And then the ones on the bottom, I'd say, are probably closer to just good surplus grade overall. And then we have some Walther PP pistols, as well as some WM 48. So start off with, we have the Walther PP. All of these are in 32. This first one here, that is probably the nicest one I've ever had in for review. I hate to say that, because I know that sounds used car salesmanish to be like, it's the nicest one we've ever seen, but legitimately, this one is a solid, excellent condition. There's a tiny little bit of holster wear on the front, import marking there on the front strap. This one is in amazing shape. It has the canceled out police marking. I believe that's a German police marking. Take that with a grain of salt though, but it is canceled out. It's got a little bit of wear there on the barrel finish, 1964 dated barrel, so I'm guessing it's a 64 dated gun. That one is just stellar, like amazing. And then this one, the next 2 are in pretty good shape too. Not nearly as nice as that one, but still nicer than what we usually see show up. Again, more canceled police markings on these, so these were police guns. Not surprising, given the Walther PP name. And then we have some WM 48s. So these are really cool. These are Egyptian contract WM 48s, and they had a contract of 10,000 of these. They're basically more or less a Walther PP copy, made in Hungary, and they were made for Egypt. And for whatever reason, be it political or I'm really not sure of the reason, but the contract got canceled, and I think only about half of the contract got delivered. So the ones with the Egyptian crest on there, like these have, were the ones that got delivered to Egypt, supposedly. These came out of Israel. How they ended up in Israel, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Israelis captured them in one of the many conflicts that they've had in that area. Really cool pistols. Don't see them that often. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.